Yo, just a quick PSA to all of the Asian business owners out there across this country. If y'all are losing money due to the fact that the black community are boycotting y'all, and with the Chinese restaurants having all of these orders and no one show up and pick up, whatever, just letting y'all know that this motherfucker right here is the one to blame it on. He's the one that dared the black community to boycott Asian businesses. And now, instead of standing on business, the motherfucker himself decided to delete all of his social media and go into hiding. This is why a lot of Asian motherfuckers out there just bark out loud. When it comes to standing on business, they shut the fuck up.
And so today is a day of reckoning. A day of reckoning within the Asian American community. To recognize our complicity in upholding the institutions of white supremacy.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Today, we have to interrogate our own anti-blackness that exists in our community. That we have to recognize our own privilege and anti-blackness that has existed for decades. That we have to understand that any progress that we have towards defeating Asian hate is inextricably tied to the progress of our black and brown brothers and sisters.
I've been saying this shit for years, but as Asian Americans, anti-blackness is fucking holding us back. I remember 6 years ago, a then Yale student, Eileen Huang, published an op-ed in which she explicitly called out our community's refusal to speak out against the systemic injustices that black Americans have been facing in this country for centuries. And this op-ed went viral in the WeChat parent groups. Not for a damn good reason though, because the responses overwhelmingly were along the lines of, oh, your parents sacrificed so much, how could you say this against your own people? Basically framing the author as a traitor against their own community for speaking out against a very valid problem. Now, keep in mind, these people are professionals, PhDs, people who have been experts in their fields for decades, yet at the same time, not being able to hold two truths at once and immediately getting defensive. You can speak out against the anti-Asian racism and violence that people have faced in our community for centuries, while also recognizing that the Asian American identity is built upon being settlers in this country, a country that's fundamentally built upon the theft of indigenous land and the exploitation of black and brown bodies and labors since its foundation. You can be part of a community, love it, and be proud of your heritage, while also being able to criticize its flaws and wanting it to change for the better. Because being a full member of a community is not blindly defending it. That's tribalism. Being part of a community is being able to recognize and speak out against its flaws so that it can become a better community built upon love. We spend so much fucking time debating Asian meetups or the definition of ABGs, but when it comes to the shit that actually matters in today's world, mass surveillance, police brutality, genocide, deportation that ultimately affects us as well, we are fucking nowhere to be seen. We have not shown up. Consistently, we have not shown up. And honestly, even we've made shit worse at times by continuing to peddle these stereotypes and continuing to buy into the model minority myth. We have so many people in this digital world with influence and with a platform, and yet we have no collective sense on how to effectively combat anti-blackness in our community. That's fucking absurd. Because the more we talk about, oh, it's us versus them, it's red versus blue, that's where the people in power want us to be. And they have us exactly where they fucking want us to be. Because the more we talk about this shit, the further we get from recognizing that it's actually top versus bottom, from actually building class consciousness, let alone.
You know what? I like what people think that is wrong with black people. And I think it's high time black people have decided to shut down all the noise, to shut down all the disrespect that people take or people give about them. But one good thing that they have decided to shift that energy. You see, black people have taken other people's hate and used them to their advantage. This is what it means. You hate, you're losing on your hate. And you see all these Asians losing businesses, losing market because of their anti-blackness. And right now, they're regretting their words. They're regretting everything that they said about black people. And we can all get to see that everything that they do or everything that they chose to do has negative consequences towards their businesses. And they're learning one crucial lesson. There's a crucial lesson that they are learning. And the crucial lesson is that you can never have it all. You cannot disrespect a group of people and then expect the same group of people to support your business. I mean, it never works like that. So what's happening right now is that we are seeing a group of these Asian people trying to look back to what they say and look if they can take their words back. But it is too late, because one of them dared black people to boycott their businesses. And funny enough is that the person who was trying to gaslight Asians to boycott their businesses doesn't have a business. So it means that they are not affected. The innocent Chinese company, the innocent Japanese company, all these innocent Asian companies are all going down. They're all going down because an ignorant, racist Asian person decided to make that happen. And now they're learning that you can never mess with black people. So, people don't learn. People forget one thing. You see, when black people start boycotting something, you know that this happens. And I won't count many times we have seen black people who have mobilized themselves to boycott all these companies. And we have seen it all successful, starting with Target, Netflix. We have seen all these companies that black people have ever come or had a situation with. We have seen how it all goes. We have seen how it all works. And so many times these folks have every time taken this for granted. So Asian people are just learning that they can never mess with black people. Or at least they mess with the wrong group of black people, because now this is more than boycott. They're deciding to put a full stop. They're deciding to put an end to the disrespect that Asian community have always been trying to push towards them. And right now, Asian communities, they're learning the hard way. And what they're seeing happening in their lives is that they're trying to go back to the first person that brought up all this mess. And they're trying to find the person. But well, let me have a message for you. Or let me just remind you that it's a little bit too late for you to take back your words. Because you all thought that you can go away with this. You all thought that this can just happen like normally. It's not business as usual, because this time around, black people have decided to take matters in their own hands, and you now can see all those devastating effects that it has towards your business. Right now, you're crying, you cannot pay your bills, you don't have workers, people have boycotted, people have left, people have shut down all your businesses. So you all know how it goes. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to let you watch the video, and then I'm going to be back. I'll be giving my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this. And for those watching me for the first time, I'm your host and presenter, Interrogating Stories. And I just want to say thank you for those always tuning in, watching my videos. Man, I'm really, really grateful for all the support that you all are giving me. So let's get into it. I'm going to be back with my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this. I'm your host and presenter, Interrogating Stories. So let's get into it.
Blown class solidarity, which is what we desperately need right now. So anyways, holy shit, but we have to do better. We have not shown up.
So I've been seeing this online. I've been meaning to address it. And there's been certain Asian people on here. And I know that they do not represent the entire Asian community when I say this. So anyone in the Asian community that's been following what I'm saying, that supports what I'm saying, that supports rights and freedom and just, good vibes for all, this ain't aimed at y'all, so hopefully y'all don't take offense to this. But for those in the Asian community that are going after the black community, y'all need to stop. Okay? Y'all need to stop showing out for crackers, because they are not y'all's friends. Last time I checked, crackers are the only people that have ever dropped an atomic bomb on Japan. They're the only people that have dropped Agent Orange on Vietnam. They're the only people that did the My Lai massacre. And that's just off the top of my head. So white people are not y'all's friends. They have never been. Crackers have never been y'all's friends. But the black community has had y'all's backs. Like, any rights y'all have is because of the rights that black America fought for. So, y'all need to really recalibrate who's on your side, who's had y'all's backs, and who's y'all's enemies. Because white people are not y'all's friends. They never have been. And unless something major changes in white culture, they're going to keep going and do the same shit they've always been doing. And y'all going to be catching the brunt end of it just along with everyone else that isn't them. So, just let y'all know.
Honestly, go ahead and boycott the Asian businesses. We as Asian businesses could stand to learn the value of the black dollar. And yes, South Asians, I said we. We spent all of last month talking about how we're Asian too. I understand that Rick Chow and his thug-ass son are East Asian, but y'all know damn well that could have been one of y'all's parents. This is exactly what some of us mean when we say y'all need to be raising y'all's parents. That immigrant mindset of come to America, keep your head down, don't bother anyone, they won't bother you. First of all, that's outdated. That's not going to work. You have to educate yourself on what's going on. Second of all, our parents need to understand what happened in this country, the groundwork that was laid, the work that black Americans did to give us the rights that we have now. Third of all, you don't get to come here and say you just want to keep your head down and make an honest living and have the American dream and don't cause any waves, but at the same time, uphold anti-blackness and the disenfranchisement of black Americans. You can't have it both ways. And before any of you want to get in my comments with some slick ass shit to say, talking about fine, okay, if they don't want to shop at our establishments, go get your own dry cleaners, go get your own restaurants, go get your own convenience stores. You are proving the point that's being made, first of all. I'm going to tell you two things that the black community have been trying to tell you. You just won't listen. One, black people don't forget. Black people do not forget. So if you already said some slick ass racist ass shit, you're fucked. I'm sorry. You've already lost them. And that serves you right. Number two, black people will treat you how you treat them. It is really that simple. And it makes perfect sense. In a country that has sought out to systemically oppress them from jump, I get that they're going to be weary interacting with different people. They're going to want to understand what you think of them and how you want to treat them. Because why would they intentionally subject themselves to that kind of bullshit? But let me also tell you something. When they say social media is the loudest minority, that shit's so real. You can have every single black person on TikTok come on here and say, I am no longer supporting insert Asian business. And you know what? They could genuinely mean that and they will never set foot in your door. But most people are not on TikTok. You are still going to have black patrons coming to your establishments, giving you a chance, being open. This is your chance to prove you are exactly who you claim to be. Treat them with some respect, make them feel welcome and invited, and don't fucking antagonize them. Don't watch them, don't hover. Don't talk down to them when they're coming in ready to spend their own money at your establishment. Don't follow them around the store. And for fuck's sake, don't chase little children out of your store just to shoot them in the back in self-defense. Bitch, fuck you. And to Rick Chow and your thug-ass son?
You cannot understand Asian American history without understanding black history. And the sooner you understand why, the sooner you'll stop being a fucking tool. So there's actually a name for this. It's called racial triangulation. And this starts with the stereotypes that white supremacy assigns. Black Americans get hit with racism and Asian Americans get hit with xenophobia. Want more Asian people to understand that model minority is not a fucking compliment. When people talk about model minorities, it's usually from a place of like, oh, why can't you just like shut up and be like these nice, obedient Asian people? This model minority stuff is a way to like pit Asian people and black people against each other. It's often used in a way to gaslight into thinking that racism doesn't exist. That's fucking bullshit. Because the second it becomes useful to scapegoat you, it's gonna happen. Case in point, remember the China virus a couple of years ago? Now with this Rick Chow case, this is being framed as some kind of like Asian versus black issue. The harm is real. The anti-blackness in Asian communities is real. I am not excusing it, but I think we also need to ask who's benefiting from this dynamic? Who is benefiting when our communities are beefing with each other? The more I dig into this, the more I'm starting to see that it's not random, it's systemic. And I'm going to speak directly to my fellow Asian Americans. If you believe that, oh, maybe if I just obey the status quo and be a good boy, I'll be accepted. No, stop being a fucking tool. Conditional acceptance is not acceptance.
Black people say, you know what? We tired of being disrespected. Y'all have all these businesses in our communities. And y'all feel like y'all can come and disrespect us. Y'all can shoot our babies. And this reminds us of a Latasha Harlins. Mm-hmm. And this is you know what? Fuck that. We boycotting these businesses. And the hubris. Yeah, man, y'all done assimilated a little too much into white supremacy to the point where y'all started sounding like them. Y'all have a lot of hubris, especially this Asian guy specifically.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system.
Okay. Listen, first of all, my nigga. Listen, this nigga think he think he control mainland China.
Yeah. Nigga think he the Ming Dynasty.
They talk from a position of people that we're indebted to. We don't owe y'all niggas anything. If anything, you should be thanking us for your ability to be here in the first place. But you come over here, you kiss white people ass after their long history of oppressing you. You can seem to get over that. For whatever reason, you got smoke with us, and we the reason why you here in the first place. I haven't seen, like I said before, I haven't seen any of them come out and condemn the actions of Rick or Andy Chow. Nor have I seen any empathy for this 14-year-old baby, Cyrus Cormack, and the loss of his life.
Right.
But you threatening us like you gonna pull the whole continent of Asia out the black community, nigga. Niggas not being outworked by immigrants. You wouldn't be allowed to immigrate over here if it wasn't for us. We not being outworked by immigrants. We being out ass kissed, out brown nosed. Y'all got y'all head so far at white people ass, y'all can't even see yourselves being a puppet. You can't see how you being used. We said, go to the bank. You don't know nothing about no red line, nigga. You don't got no history in this country. And this is a nigga in a fitted hat.
Yeah.
And then you want to go start talking about the products that's made in China. Nigga, America is made in China. They've been kissing white people ass so long that they starting to think and talk like the white man.
Yeah, man.
They starting to make threats like they the white man. This nigga threatened to pull China out of the black community, the entire continent.
He just pulling China out?
Asia.
Asia?
Whenever racism is brought up in the Asian American community, there seems to be this knee-jerk reaction to say, well, we're not racist, but we have a lot of racism perpetrated against us. And there's this immediate defensiveness to say, well, I've experienced so much racism in my life and you just don't understand it and you're trying to silence me right now. As if acknowledging that there is anti-blackness in the Asian community is somehow invalidating any discrimination or racism that individual Asian people have experienced in their life. I think there's two parts of this that are interesting to me. One is something I've talked about before, which is that a lot of people in the Asian community don't have the same awareness that, yes, we are people of color and that we do face racism and prejudice, but in very different ways than members of the Black community do. The second part of this is I wonder if some of this defensiveness is coming from the ways in which a lot of us were socialized and raised to not rock the boat, to be quiet, and to just kind of take whatever it is that's thrown at us. And now that we are adults and we have platforms and we can talk to cameras, a lot of us are really embracing that and really making up for lost time in terms of being able to talk about our experiences and the ways in which we faced discrimination in the past. Unfortunately, a lot of people are using their voice not to stand in solidarity with other communities of color, but to say, I will not be silenced anymore and I need to be listened to. You will not invalidate my experiences of prejudice or discrimination any longer. It is not incumbent upon the Black community to have grace for and teach that part of our community. If it's incumbent upon anybody, I think it's other members of the Asian community to say, hey, we all know what living as an Asian person in this country feels like. And it's not always easy and it's not always good. But the ways in which racism is perpetrated against members of the Black community is also very different than what we feel. And we just don't know what that's like. And that acknowledgement in no way undermines or threatens your understandings of the racism that you have faced. We can talk about how Rick Chow's acquittal was a manifestation of the racism in the criminal legal system, and that the Black community's outrage over it and what they're calling for is a normal and understandable reaction, while also acknowledging that yes, Asian people do face discrimination and racism too, and that our common goal should be to dismantle the white supremacy that is at the
I want them to keep coming out. I want them to keep making videos so Black people can wake the hell up. But this is what it's going to take for Black people to really get upset and to really decide to support their own before they go support somebody who hates them. And the thing is, Black people, we are so forgiving. We are so desensitized to disrespect, to violence, to prejudice, that we continue to support these businesses even though they do bad business. We've allowed these businesses to operate in our communities for too long, all while they disrespect us, all while they do bad business, piss poor customer service. Now it's time for y'all to wake the hell up. Get y'all affairs in order. Get your businesses together. Get your stuff together so that if there is Black people who want to do business with other Black people, they have that option. Get y'all businesses in order so that we can stop shopping with businesses who don't value us, who don't want us, who don't trust us, who don't respect us. Black people have a $2 trillion spending power, and it's time that we put that money towards our own communities. And many Asian people are copping pleas talking about, why should we get punished for Rick Chow, what Rick Chow did? The fact of the matter is, this isn't just about Rick Chow. It's the fact that many ran Asian businesses are prejudiced and do discriminate against Black people and disrespect Black people. It's not just Rick Chow. This behavior is felt collectively in the Black community, whether you're in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, New York, California, you have experienced some type of prejudice, some type of discrimination, some type of disrespect in the Asian ran business. And that's why so many are calling for a boycott of these Asian ran businesses.
Do you want to know why there's so much tension between Asians and Black people? I want to give everyone a little bit of background and also my personal experience for everyone to understand this. To answer this question, first of all, there's no hate. But we love to talk about hate, and that's what internet and social media is so good at. It's so good at spreading hatred. For the folks maybe homing on some of the US news about some court cases where I think it was a Chinese American murdered a young Black kid for stealing water or something like that. I know there's a trend of boycotting, right? Asian American restaurants, business, all that kind of stuff. I think it's so sad we judge an entire group of people based on a decision and the outcome that nobody likes and none of us has any control over. But you know what's really good at is spreading the hatred. Growing up in, I would say, blue-collar city in Canada and US, I've learned that all of us have the same skin tone. And especially Black people and Asian people, because it turns out we live in the same neighborhood. And maybe it's just my generation that grew up with rush hour, so the black and yellow is strong. It's maybe propaganda, maybe it's just the truth of how our cultural clash or are the same. a lot of times I think the hatred is so easily spread. We just assume that's what people think. But I know that it's not true. I remember in my 20s, a lot of black young girls wanted to date me, and they're very like, the first question they're like, do you like black people? I was like, what kind of weird question is that? But I get it, because I think especially black women are being mistreated in the media, in the whole world. Just, we put them down for so many reasons that we don't want to admit. And I remember hearing that, I'm like, what? Okay, well, I date you because you're hot. That's because I'm shallow though. That's another story. I'll tell you more about that. But skin tone doesn't matter. Anyways, all I want to say is, hate is easy to spread. Love is what all of us need.
I said in my previous video already, but I don't think it's a news that a lot of Asians are anti-black. And it is not just Asian American diaspora, it is also Asian in Asia. I am an Asian, grew up in Asia, and I have so many stories of people over there being outwardly racist and anti-black and colorist, if you care. Although I do realize that the rich outsiders situation is what a court intentionally doing to separate the minority group and pin us against each other, because the midterm is coming, and seeing us hating each other, pinning us against each other is exactly what white fascists and white supremacy want us to be doing. However, but I think it's really reasonable for these for other people to be boycotting Asian business if they are really anti-black, because let's be so for real, a lot of them are really anti-black. So when these people saying that they are boycotting Asian business or Asian store, I am not even slightly offended, because I think I said.
As a Asian, here is my perspective on the Rick Chow case. First, I'm going to say this. I think that Rick Chow was 100% in the wrong. Rick claims that he did what he did because he thought the kid was stealing, but it was confirmed. The kid was not stealing anything. But even if he was stealing, that is still not worth doing what Rick Chow did to that kid. Now, a lot of people's counter-arguments for this is that the kid had a weapon on him. He was armed, which is true. However, he did not pull out that weapon. The only way they found out that the kid had a weapon was that it fell out or something while he was running away. Which is also why Rick can't even claim self-defense, because the kid was running away. Now, the kid having the weapon is a problem, but it isn't something that has to do with the situation that happened. Because the kid never pulled it out, he never pointed it at him, so they actually wouldn't even have known. And about the racial side of things, I think, in my opinion, that Rick was racially profiling the little boy. But that aside, another thing I want to kind of give my opinion on is the reaction from a lot of people who are saying boycott all Asian businesses, or boycott anything Asian related. And I've seen people literally use the word all. I don't think it's right to be saying that, because that is racial prejudice, and prejudice is a form of racism. Rick Chow does not represent Asians, he just happened to be Asian. Asia is also a huge continent. You can't fight racism with more racism. What I think instead should be said is to support black-owned businesses. So the main takeaways from this video, Rick Chow should be in prison, support black-owned businesses, and stop generalizing an entire continent, because that just makes you racist.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. From wherever you're watching this video from, as you know, I'm your host and presenter Jane Docu-Stories. You all gotta learn how to treat black people. And I think this is not just a message to black people. this message, I mean, it's not just message about the Asian community. This goes beyond even the Asian community. It goes to even white people. And they know very well. They know the consequences that this might have to their businesses, that this might have to their lives. Because when black people start boycotting, you know how it goes. You know how it goes down. So many times, it never works. Majority of the times, we know that they are on the loose. So those people that add businesses who belong to the Asian community, they're just learning the hard way. And they're learning that in future, they better learn how to treat black people. They better learn how to accord black people with respect. Because all these things that they do, they think that there are no consequences for the things that they do. And I think that they can get away with all those racist things that they say. Because you try to ask yourself, what do you think triggered black people to start doing the boycott? It is a recent 14-year boy case that happened. And so a person comes out of nowhere without no context or without not knowing what's really happening. And they're daring black people to boycott, or they're daring black people to do what they're doing. And so as a result, you can definitely see that there are consequences for everything that they choose to do. And that's just part of the problem that needs to be talked about, that needs to be discussed. So black people talked about this, and this is what black people are saying. Somebody say that it warms my heart called to see it's not about a boycott, but a blackout. We are done. We don't care if they apologize or not, because the damage is already done. And I told you, you better call black people with respect, because so many times you've been showing disrespect to black people, yet you don't know the importance of them or what they hold. Right now, black people have decided to take back their money to their societies, to their communities. You know how all this goes. Let's thank the man who dared us to boycott. What is important is that the fact that the boycott is working, that ant is none of our black business, but rather that of the Asians. It is up to them to sort all these issues by themselves. They're the ones who started this war. And they thought that it's going to be a business as usual. I'm sorry to let you know that it's not business as usual. You better learn how to deal with this shit. Right. Somebody say that I'm a 70-year-old proud black woman that has watched this disrespect for decades. I can't join the movement because I have not patronized any Asian business since the LA incident. And when I see videos of them appropriating black culture, they get nothing, not monetizing that either do better people. It is high time for black people to put a stop on this disrespect that has been going on. And it is not that I don't care about the livelihoods of people who depend on all those businesses, but at the same time, I'm trying to look the harm that all this disrespect has caused to black people. And I'm saying it damn makes sense. It damn makes sense, especially when you try to consider that black people have always tried to warn these folks for a long time to consider the things that they are doing, to let them know that the things that they are doing have negative consequences towards black people's life. So somebody also came and said that we as black Americans give what we get. We are being accused of making all Asians pay for their actions of one man. If one black person was suspected of committing a crime, entire neighborhood were banned and the residents shot or lynched. We don't ban, lynch, or shoot, but we decide when to spend or who to spend their money. That we call economic lynching. So I think the movement that black people have started, it is really, really powerful. And I think it's also a message to all these other group of people that you can not just wake up in the morning and mess with black people. There are negative consequences that you gotta learn, that you gotta live with, that you gotta know. Like, you cannot just wake up in the morning and just mess up with black people. It never works like that. So that's a message that you gotta know. That's a message that you gotta have put at the back of your mind, that there are negative consequences of the things that you do. And it catches up with you. That's just like it catches up with Asians. They're getting to learn that. Somebody also said that there was an Asian market right next to a beauty supply in my former neighborhood, and still not a single Asian person shopped in there. It was only black folks. They know very well who funds their businesses. It's damn black people. Right. Somebody also said that funny how every group want to be singled out as not being part because they are from different regions. Black people do not get that grace. If one black person does something wrong, the all black race gets blamed. They can't miss me all out with that. They are all Asians with the same cultural training about black people. Sorry, not sorry. That's a mistake that has already been done. I don't really know what you think, but yeah, that's just what's going on. So brothers and sisters, please let me know what you all think about this, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter, Interrogating Stories. I'm hoping to see you on my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.